Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Rula here. I hope you guys doing good. I'm doing today another Lego related video, and I guess what I'm trying to do in this video is I'm trying to see how much would it cost me or anyone who's also interested, anyone who's crazy enough to be also interested in it, to build a Napoleonic army, right, at a Lego minifix or custom military minifigs that are available right now on the market. So what happened to me is basically I was watching Napoleon movie, not Napoleon, like Napoleon Bonaparte, not the Pedro one that came out 10 years ago. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, so the recent movie that came out, I kind of got excited. I got a little hyped. I was like, okay, I probably want to build up a little bit of Napoleonic army, see what's out there. And basically the idea here is what is available on the market from Lego and from the custom Lego military companies out there, and how much would that cost for you to do so. So what I'm gonna actually do right now, I'm gonna go ahead and compare, starting with the cheapest, now going towards the most expensive ways that you can build yourself a mini, well, hopefully not too big of a Napoleonic army, because even the cheapest stuff will cost you a little bit of the money. So let's go ahead and start with actual Lego stuff that is available on the market that you can pick up. So what I've picked up is all the stuff that's coming basically from Bricklink, and some things Lego specifically related I picked up from Pick a Brick from the website. So here we go. We have just basically the cheapest version of, you can essentially build something similar to this minifig right here. So this will maybe represent like a French army, because it's a blue torso. Of course, on Lego World, it's Imperial Soldier. And let's go ahead and just hop into the prices right away. So this guy right here, so the torso for this minifig on a Bricklink, I was able to get for $199. Now, when it comes to the caps, you can kind of get the different varies of the caps. They are in the same price range. The cheapest one is the Lego one without any kind of prints. That's a 65 cents. This one is more expensive. It's $1. This is from Brick Warriors, also $1. And this is from a Pick a Brick, and this most expensive one is $2.98. $2.98. And all the price here, by the way, are in euros or dollars, whatever you want to put it. But yeah, this is Admiral hat is kind of expensive. Now the heads are 30 cents each. The sack is 20 cents. And then, with heads, you can decide if you want to use a flesh color or yellow color. And the legs, the most cheapest legs you can get from Lego are 53 cents right over here. You can get a dual molded, which I'm going to get to those a little bit later, can get a little bit more expensive, and some dual molded actually are 58 cents. Well, I'll get to those in a second. So basically, when you run the math, you can build a minifig like this from Lego Pick a Brick or Bricklink for about $3.67. And if you do want to add brick arms, flintlock musket or a gun, is going to cost you another $1, so you're sitting on about $4.67. Now I also picked up for Bricklink actual minifig, so you get the full minifig. I think it comes from El Dorado Fortress, so that minifig will run to you about $3.98, plus of course if you do want to add a brick arm right here, that will be then $4.98. So here we go. That's basically a Lego build that you can do. This is another Lego minifig I want to also kind of add to the show as well. So we do have this like Imperial Guard minifig as well. That's a separate standalone minifig that you can get from, I think it's a store exclusive in England somewhere. So that minifig ran to me on Bricklink for $8.99. And of course, if you add a gun to it, then it's going to be $9.99, which is about 10 euros. So definitely an option as well. Not maybe very historically accurate, but of course it does look like could be part of a Napoleonic army as well. All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to a mix between actual Lego and customs. So let's go ahead and have a look at those in a second. Let's go ahead and get those in here and trying to get them in a shot. So here we go. So now what we're looking at is actually a mix between a United Bricks torsos, which I picked up on United Bricks website, and each torso is about $5.50. So I have a few different varieties here that you can look at. We have the Russians, we have the French, we have the British, and of course we have our man, the Napoleon Bonaparte himself, and we have some Austrians. So the mix goes like this. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe just run each one of them so you can see how much it would cost you. Again, it's a mix between the Lego and United Bricks, and it comes out to be somewhat cheap cheaper. And also just to note, I am using some of the heads from United Bricks, and those are a little bit more expensive than the Lego heads, minifig heads. So those are about €3 instead of Lego, which is 30 cents. So torso, as I mentioned before, it's $5.50 for the Russian. And we're basically talking about the same stuff I mentioned before. We have the legs here. In this case, we have a little bit more expensive of a cappy. So the cappy piece, or it's actually called like a paper hat, it's €1. So the Russian actually runs out to be the most expensive. It's about €12, 12 and 12 cents or something like that. But then if you, for example, remove the United Bricks face and you put the Lego face, it comes out to be $9.42. So if we look at the French one, which let's look at this one, this guy right here. Again, I do already mention some of the prices for the flintlock muskets. On that kind of stuff, I'm not going to repeat myself. This guy runs out to be $11.68, and here actually I'm using just a regular generic Lego mini faces, and in case of that, then it's going to be €9. If you do put United Bricks, it's going to be more expensive. Or for example, TMC, it's going to be, like I said, $11.68, but then in this case, it's just 9. The British are basically the same thing. Actually, here we have a dual molded legs from Lego. Those are 58 cents, not 53. But other than that, everything's more or less in line. This is a dollar kind of hat here, a cappy, a little bit more expensive. So the British run out to be, with the custom faces once again, or heads, it's €12, 12.08. And if you just replace it with the regular Lego heads, then it's going to be a lot cheaper, and it's going to be about €10.28. And a very similar price then for the Austrians as well. So I'm not going to talk about this, but let's go ahead and then talk about the full minifig. And right here we have United Bricks, the man of the hour himself, Napoleon Bonaparte. That minifig cost me €18. So right there you can see already the price going up. So if you're just picking up the full entire printed minifig, but then you can see, of course, the legs are printed nicely compared to those guys right here when we just have a regular plain Lego legs, except maybe some dual molded stuff like that. And of course I added the cape, maybe it was a couple cents or whatnot. Let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the lineup. Again, now we're getting to more expensive stuff, and this is what I've accumulated so far. Again, we kind of go into United Bricks right here. Each of them are 18 euros right here, and some of them do come, for example, those right here come with the full gear you do get from United Bricks, the sword, for example, the musket, that kind of stuff. And they do come with the 3D printed elements, which are very nice addition. Once again, you do look at the legs, everything's printed. The back is also nicely printed. Let's go ahead and maybe turn those around. So here we go, yeah. You do pay a little bit more. And lastly, last ones I want to do show. Unfortunately, this company no longer makes Napoleonic era minifigs, but I was able to get those maybe like a year back or whatnot. You can get a full minifig from Ktown, or back then you could have, and of course you could have also get the torsos, but the full minifig would run you about 18 euros. And in with this guy's case, I actually end up using a Brickmania perfect caliber flintlock musket. So this is a bit more expensive, so you can add $5 or €5 to it, so it's a little bit more, but it does come with a Lego gun as well. And maybe lastly, just kind of show you if you were able to get the torsos, for example, for the Hussars. The Hussar torso around me about 14 euros, and this guy you have a TMC head, which is now another $4, $4, and then the hat is from Brick Warriors, so you are able to get that from Brick Warriors as well. That was $9. Actually, this came out to be more expensive than this guy. I mean, of course, minus the perfect caliber. So this is about 19 euros if you build this up yourself, and then from Ktown, the fig itself is 18. So here you go. That's pretty much the more or less expensive standalone that are I feel like the most readily available Napoleonic era minifigs that you probably can pick it up on the market right now. Again, actively United Bricks makes them and restocks them, and of course you can do it through the Lego itself, kind of build your own and try going that route. Of course, then there's also Brickmania. I'm just gonna put that in here, and this is probably the most expensive way to build your minifig. Of course, Brickmania is not doing Napoleonic era minifigs at all, have not been doing it. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe there's something that they feel like there's not enough interest out there in the market. But for example, this is like a French minifig that probably could work kind of with this Napoleonic Army setup, and it's kind of expensive. So the Brickmania minifigs go from 30 to 44 euros. This one happened to be more expensive. I think 34. I picked it up on Brickissimo, and then we have a perfect caliber flintlock pistol right here, which is another 5. So this is like close to 40 euro, which is very expensive, and I probably would not recommend. But at the end of the day, you do have at the moment some options on the market if you are kind of a little crazy enough to build up a Napoleonic army. So here basically the ones I found. I hope this video was somewhat helpful, especially maybe deciding how much money do you want to spend. Of course, the cheapest one it is Lego setup. Then you can kind of get all the torsos and build up the army yourself. And then if you want to have extra money or cash to spend, then maybe go into a little bit more highly detailed custom military Lego stuff. Another thing I didn't mention here in this video, the cheapest of course way you can do this is by going to AliExpress, and they do sell those like or Tamo or whatever it's called. They do sell like one minifig for 1 euro, which is super cheap, but of course it's a knockoff Lego, it's not the real thing, and I would not include that in this video because a lot of people probably not interested in that kind of setup. But if you are, of course, then there's this super cheap options that you can go for. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was somewhat interesting, and if you did, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, put a like on this video, and take care for now. Peace. Bye.